So, Happy New Year everyone! And this is a quick collab, very briefly, to explain goals and plans that I may have for 2023 and some reflection on 2022. I will say at the beginning of this vlog that these are personal goals for the intention of New Year's Eve. Our plans will change and evolve as 2023 progresses, so I will not, and I don't recommend that you inform the LA of any of your plans like this, because they can hold you to ransom on it at a later point. So these are just for personal use and for YouTube purposes really. These are nothing that I would ever state clearly to the LA, but then I'm tying myself into these plans really, when my plans tend to be quite fluid through the year because I constantly assess, but I'll get into that in a minute. So disclaimer over, I'll dive straight in because as you can hear I'm not well, so I'm going to try and keep this as short and sweet as I possibly can. This is part of a collab hosted by Alicia over at Sunny Mountain Homeschool, and that was previously known as Iron Horse Homeschool. So feel free to check out her playlist, and I'll pop a link below in the description because there's loads of other videos and there's part of the collab, and them homeschoolers and home educators have some fantastic advice, tips and tricks up their sleeves. So personally, I continuously review our home education journey and how we're progressing as a family and how the children are progressing within themselves along the way. And I do this daily through direct observation and in real time, as well as reflecting back each month. And if something isn't working for us, then I'll change it in real time as well. If it's not working, it goes, and I'll refocus and find a workable alternative. And that's the beauty of home education. It gives me that opportunity to flow with the children, not against the children. And that just ensures that they are always actively engaged with their learning journey themselves, and I gently expand on their knowledge and experience as we go along. So this September, Nimueh turned child school age, which we abbreviate to CSA. And Anthony is now at the equivalent of year 7. So I have different approaches and goals for both my children this year, as I always do. So for Nimueh, she's really coming along with the reading. Everything's really clicking into place with her at the moment, and she's really enthusiastic about it. Normally I wouldn't put a high emphasis on them learning to read until they're at a slightly older age, but because Nimueh's so keen and is really taking to it, that's actually a focus we're going down because it's something she wants to do. So this January, I'm going to be introducing the Peter and Jane books, and you probably saw me get quite excited about them in the Christmas vlog that I did. And I'm just going to see where we go from there really. I'm going to take her lead on that because these books really help cement it. They have fantastic reviews, so I'm quite excited about incorporating them in because I think they'll really just help her fly and help her grasp that understanding even more. Nim loves independence, you see. So she finds it quite frustrating having to come to us with recipes and even instructions for different games. She would prefer to be able to read them herself. So that's what's giving her this fire in her belly at the moment. So as the facilitator of her education, I'm obviously going to encourage that and jump on that, why that eagerness is there for her to learn. Now Anthony is my little maths whiz, and he absolutely loves maths. He's always asking for more and more maths. However, he can also use that as a way of getting out of other topic work. And now he's always been a reluctant writer. He does have dyslexia, which is something I've been working on with him since September quite a lot. We've been doing a lot of work and finding ways to work around his dyslexia. And I think it's really helped. It's really worked because he has become so enthusiastic about creative writing. He's really enjoying creating his characters and putting stories together, formatting them with a beginning, a middle and end, and he's doing fantastic stories. He has such a creative imagination, and obviously for someone who's always been a reluctant writer and has always struggled with writing due to the dyslexia, this is a fantastic step forward. So this is also something that I am going to encourage more of and try and incorporate more of as we go along through this next year. And I also want to encourage on our time exploring together. So when we're doing unit studies or topic studies, I want to incorporate more trips to places that tie in with them, more physical outings. I mean, we do a lot anyway, so the rest of the family would probably appreciate less of that. But I really feel it brings the learning to life. But I've got to get that balance right, so we're going to see how we go there too. And since our house move, I mean, we've had a very stressful 2022. But since our house move, it was across county, so it was quite a lot of miles. We haven't really had the chance to focus on the music lessons as much as we were. So I want to enable that time for them. It's important to me to enable that time for them each week, because Anthony has a natural talent for piano. He really picks it up very quickly. So it's not something that I want him to lose. It's something that I want him to build upon. So again, that's going to be another important aspect of my time management skills from January onwards, is ensuring that he gets that quality time with his piano, although his is a keyboard. And Nimueh gets that time with the guitar, because that's where her heart was lying. She was playing more to the string instruments. You can hear her playing now. And both the children have expressed an interest in learning the language. And now we did start off with French last year, but I think they both want to switch to Spanish this year. So I'm probably going to incorporate some Spanish, see how we go, and then review it again in about a month's time and see what's happening and where we're at there. And I'll touch base with the children, see how they feel about it going forwards again. And when it comes to languages, we did fall off the wagon quite a bit, to be fair, with the house move and all the stress that we were under and all the stress that I was under at the time. So the languages kind of got pushed to the back burner for a couple of months. So I do need to really bring that back in again, because I do feel it's important to be able to speak more than one language. As for history, we're just going to continue with living history. And now we do study history at home, obviously. I'm a big history fan. We have a bookcases dedicated to history, and it's something that we have around us all the time because we do enjoy history and it is important to me. But we are going to be continuing with our living history this year, because I feel that really brings it to life for the children. It kind of ties everything else in together for them nicely. And we are part of a living history group, so please check them out. It's the Historical Living Company. You can find them online. They're fantastic. We do displays across the country, and it's more of a family vibe now really as well for us. But when the children are putting it into practice, because obviously they take part in the displays for the public, so they're in full kit, full character, it really does bring it to life for them. They absolutely love it, and it's got them so interested in history. But it's now second nature to them, because they've immersed themselves in it, they've lived it. It's been alive for them in their imagination, so it felt real to them, and they've really taken it on board, and I just think that's fantastic. So we will be doing plenty more of that. And in September, I introduced the £2 tuition hub, and now I personally feel this is a fantastic resource, and Nimueh's really gelled with it. She absolutely loves their lessons, and she loves joining in on the lives. Now Anthony, he tends to sway more towards the out-school setup. He does enjoy the £2 tuition hub, as long as it's not the live sessions. He prefers to watch the catch-up videos afterwards. He doesn't like doing the lives. So he does tend to enjoy out-school more, whereas Nim absolutely adores the £2 tuition hub and would choose that over out-school every time. So both of them are very different there as well. So it's just about making sure that I facilitate those resources for them and ensure they're available to them. I obviously use Twinkle an awful lot, which is a wonderful resource. It's got tons on there, and I find it quite easy to just search for a topic on there and then adapt it to both my children's age groups as well, if it's something that we want to learn together. And this year I want to encourage a little bit more child-led learning too. I do incorporate child-led learning an awful lot. However, it was more of a 50-50 split, and now I want to incorporate a little bit more child-led learning, because I want to enable them to feel more in control of their learning journey in many respects. Obviously, I'll be there to guide and facilitate, but I do want to encourage more of that time just to see where they take it, because I'm quite interested to see what avenues they'll go down. So possibly 1 or 2 days a week will be dedicated purely to that. I'm unsure at the minute, possibly 1. I'll probably start off with just 1 for now. I mean, obviously I'll incorporate child-led learning on other days, as I already do. But I want 1 day dedicated just where they can pick a topic, and then we'll deep dive into that topic together. Studies show that children learn best through play. So with Nimueh, I'm going to continue incorporating lots of play-based learning opportunities for her. However, I do feel a slow living January coming on. It's been a hectic year. The last month or 2 have just been so stressful. I seem to bounce from one chaotic situation to another. So I'm really feeling the need to just slow down, go inward, retreat, recuperate, rejuvenate, and just reconnect as myself and a family unit again. I have to constantly remind myself that it's okay to occasionally hit pause and just take that time to breathe and be. So the first couple of weeks of January were quite a slow living pace. So we'll be doing lots of reading, documentaries, baking, learning through play, and activity-based learning, project-based learning really, than more sit-down structured learning. lots of time in nature and lots of time exploring our surroundings. I'd also like to incorporate a game schooling day 1 day a week, because we have tons and tons of educational games. You've probably seen them in previous vlogs. I'm pretty sure I've done a vlog on game schooling and the benefits of game schooling. I'm sure I have. If I haven't, I will do. So give us a follow if that's something you're interested in, because I will be giving you a rundown of all the games if I haven't already, because we have absolutely tons of them and I don't feel like we incorporate them enough, and they are an amazing resource for the children to learn from. So the first couple of weeks in January I'm going to incorporate a lot of the educational games, because we have math games, we have English literacy and grammar games, we have history based games, science based games. So I'm going to get all of them out and we're going to have fun and really inject some fun into our learning this January as we ease back into the flow of things and start picking up our pace again. But as you can see, I'm not well, so we do need a couple of weeks to recuperate and get back on our feet, because Nimueh is also the same as me. As you know, science is important to me, so it will still have a heavily influence on our home education. That won't be changing at all. I probably will be trying to find more ways to make it more fun for Anthony and more engaging for Anthony. He doesn't find it as fun or as magical as he used to, now that he has an understanding at a year 7 level of the science. So I want to try and bring back some of that magic in for him too. And science is also one of Nim's favourite subjects as well. She's quite similar to me in that respect. She loves anything to do with science. I mean, so does Anthony. He's just getting a deeper understanding of it now, which is taking away the fun and the magic. So I want to ensure that I keep that spirit alive in both of them as well. As for extracurricular groups, we're going to continue with the ones that we're doing currently, because Nimueh's absolutely loving cheerleading, Anthony's loving his football. So we're going to be continuing with them, because that's really brought Anthony out of his shell. He's absolutely loving that, and he can do that with his cousin here, because we live locally to his cousin. So he is absolutely enjoying that and that team spirit. And Nimueh's getting the same out of her cheerleading. She's really enjoying that. I am looking for a dance class for Nimueh as well, but it's really hard finding spaces that don't clash with other activities. We've got a couple of forest school taster sessions coming up to see which forest school fit with our family and our ethos, and what activities we would like within a forest school setting, because they're all very different to each other. So I'm going to be weighing that up after the taster days and deciding which direction we go in there. So there's going to be a lot of forest school activities coming in again too, because we really miss our forest school. And obviously Nimueh does climbing as well, and she wants to continue with the climbing. That's important to her. She's a natural at climbing. So that's something that we're going to continue with this year. And Nimueh's also looking forward to starting beavers. She's now at that age where beavers is an option, but she's starting one that's by where her dad's from. So he's going to be taking it every Friday, because it's about 45 minutes away from here. So he's going to be taking it every Friday to that, and she's really excited. It's something they're going to be doing together, because I think he's going to be signing on as a leader or something at that unit, because his old unit recently got shut down. So she's very excited about that. I absolutely love scouting. It's a brilliant opportunity for her, and I can't wait to see her flourish, because obviously she grew up actually going along with her grandma, granddad and her dad to the unit that they all ran together, St. John Bosco's. So she grew up going along to them each week, and now she's old enough to actually join herself. So yeah, she's been very excited for this. She's waited 6 years for this, so this is a big opportunity this January for her, because she starts in January. So that's another big thing that's happening this year for Nimueh. I also tend to find that over in Lancashire they're a bit more proactive on the outdoor side of things when it comes to the scouting too. So I feel like she'll have a lot more opportunity going to that unit with her dad. We do a lot of home ed meetups, so they will be continuing too, because the children have some really good friendships within them groups, and I absolutely love meeting with the other parents. It's just nice to meet up with other parents as well who home educate. Nice to have that community, and we are quite a close-knit community, and we're quite lucky where we live currently. There is a great home ed community, so I plan on immersing myself more with that and getting to know the other mums more, because obviously we only moved back here in September, and since Tyler and William have grown up and moved on to college and university themselves, the mums of their peer group have moved on as well. So it's all new faces now that we've come back, so it's great. So I really want to get to know all them other parents out there and build those bonds back up, because it's such a great community, such a great network, and it's one that all home educators should really utilise, because it's lovely for both yourself and your children to have that time. And there's so many groups, workshops and events out there. It would be silly not to take advantage of them. especially since most of them are discounted as you're all booking as a home ed group. I intend to continue to utilise them as much as possible. And we love our park meetup groups as well. It's great fun. And once April gets here, you see us doing an awful lot of camping. We tend to hit the road between April and October and do a lot of road schooling from the caravan. So you'll be getting to see that with us as well, if all things go to plan. Now, a huge focus of our 2023 is going to be growth mindset as a family. I'm sure I've mentioned things like the Big Life Journal in prior vlogs, and I will be incorporating a very similar format into our day-to-day lives for both myself, Nim and Anthony. I think it's very important. I also love the cosmic yoga stories as well. It's a great way of getting the children moving and engaged, and I just think it's fantastic. The delivery is brilliant, so we will be ensuring that we continue with that before bedtime. And I'd also like to do some family vision board sessions as well, so the children can make their own goals more known and incorporate their own goals on the family vision board more, and see each other's goals on the family vision board, because it's all well and good having individual ones, but it's nice to have a family one as well, and family goals, things that we're working together and want to attain as a family. So yeah, we're going to be doing some vision boards in 2023 as a family activity. This last year has been hectic for us. I think the last few years have helped so many of us readdress our priorities and what we actually want for our families and for ourselves going forward. And I think that's going to be an important focus of 2023 too. I intend to continue growing my own food, and our front garden's actually quite big. It's got no boundary fence on it or anything like that, and the children do play out there. So my focus this year is to get a boundary in there, but I'm actually thinking of a medicinal one. Things like hawthorn, elderflower, things that I can control the growth of, but also provides medicine and food for all the community too, if needs be. It's just nice to have that option there. So yeah, I'll be putting them up as a bit of a fence coming mid-January to end January to see how that goes. So obviously that will take a while to grow. My long-term goal is to still get off-grid, and they'll be coming with me. There's going to be lots of family foraging and making things from what we foraged as a family together. And obviously I'll be showing you the transformation of our garden space into something usable for us as a family, and that meets our needs as a family too, because we do a lot of homemade stuff outside as well. And I'm hoping the boundary fence that you'll see us putting in, as well as being a living fence, will provide a lot more privacy and safety for the children when they're playing out there as well. So if that's something that interests you, then give us a subscribe and follow us, because that's also part of our home education gardening collaboration as well. My goals this year for myself is, again, continual growth mindset with a lot of self-work and digging deep within. I want to really work on myself as a person this year, because we're continuously growing as people, and the last few years have been a huge lesson for me, and I want to be able to take all that forward into the future. I also want to smash my first year of uni because I'm back at uni doing my BSc in clinical herbalism, so you'll be seeing a lot of herbalism posts from me, no doubt, and a lot of creations over the next few months, especially as we hit spring. It's going to be great fun. So again, if that interests you, then stay tuned, because I'll be sharing a lot of homesteading type video vlogs of that nature. I also need to go and sort out my hair, because I've only just noticed. I'm going to go and carry on my makeover session with Nim. So our New Year's Eve is going to be spent playing games, and Nimueh's just getting all the game boards out now as we speak. We're too ill to go to the family gathering, unfortunately, so it's just a quiet one this evening. But we will be going outside in the street to dance at midnight, because that's one of our traditions. Let me know in the comments what your New Year traditions are, because I absolutely love hearing them. Do you go out at midnight and dance and sing, or do you find that absolutely bizarre? It's something we've always done as a family, so it's something that I can't miss. Nimueh is obviously really excited about staying up till midnight and dancing outside in the street. So let's hope the weather's kind at midnight. So wishing you all the best 2023. And I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful celebration with your families. And I'm wishing you all the best for 2023. With love from my heart to yours.
What did that hit the roof? Up there.
That's already good.
Hey, Joe, what actually
If it lets them.